Listen up, because I'm about to tell you something that will change the way you move through life. See, every single day, you wake up with a choice. You can let life happen to you, or you can grab the wheel and make things happen for you. And the difference between the two? Goals. Now, I ain't talking about that long list of dreams you've been keeping in your head for years. I'm talking about daily goals, the things that push you one step closer to the life you say you want. Most people wake up, check their phone, scroll through nonsense, and by noon, they wonder why they feel stuck. You know why? Because they didn't start the day with intention. If you don't set your goals, life will set them for you. And let me tell you something. Life don't care about your dreams if you don't care about them first. So here's what you do. Every morning, before you check emails, before you look at who's liking your posts, take 5 minutes to write down 3 things you will accomplish today. Not might, not should. Something for your mind. Read, learn, grow. Something for your body. Move, eat right, take care of yourself. Something for your future. Make a call, take a step, build something that gets you closer to where you want to be, and then do them. No excuses, no distractions, no waiting until tomorrow, because tomorrow turns into next week turns into next year, and before you know it, you're still talking about what you should have done instead of living what you made happen. You want success, you want happiness, you want change, prioritize your goals. Every single day. Now go out there and handle your business. Every morning when you wake up, you are given a fresh start, a blank slate, and a brand new opportunity to direct your life. But the problem with most people is that they wake up without a plan. They open their eyes, grab their phone, scroll through social media, check their messages, and before they know it, an hour has passed, and they haven't even set their mind on what needs to be done. This is exactly why so many people feel stuck in the same routine, the same struggles and the same frustrations. They wake up with no direction, and by the time the day ends, they've spent another 24 hours going nowhere. Setting your intentions daily is the secret to breaking this cycle. You don't just let the day take you wherever it wants. You decide where it's going. When you start your morning with clear, intentional goals, you take control of your time, your energy, and ultimately your life. It's not enough to have big dreams or long-term goals. You need to break them down into small, actionable steps that you commit to completing each day. Without this, dreams stay dreams and nothing ever changes. Most people wake up hoping for a good day instead of designing one. Hope is not a strategy. Wishing things will go well doesn't make them happen. If you want real progress, you have to be deliberate about it. This means taking just a few minutes each morning to set specific, achievable goals that align with where you want to go in life. It doesn't have to be complicated. In fact, the simpler, the better. The key is clarity. You have to know exactly what you need to do so that when the distractions come, and they will come, you already have a plan in place. Imagine 2 people waking up at the same time. One person rolls over, grabs their phone, and starts mindlessly scrolling. They see news, random videos, and other people's lives before they even think about their own. They get up, go through the motions, and start their day reacting to whatever comes their way. The other person wakes up, takes a deep breath, and writes down 3 clear things they need to accomplish that day. They decide what's important before the world decides for them. Now, which person do you think will be more productive, more focused, and more successful over time? It's obvious. The person who sets their intentions and commits to their daily goals will always be ahead The mind is like a GPS. If you don't set a destination, it will take you anywhere. If you don't program your day will program you. This is why it's so important to be intentional. You have to wake up with purpose, with direction, and with a game plan. It doesn't matter how small or big the goals are. What matters is that you have them. Because when you set your intentions, you give yourself a roadmap for the day. You eliminate the guesswork. You take control. A lot of people struggle with discipline because they don't know what to focus on. They get overwhelmed by everything they need to do, so they end up doing nothing. But when you set clear daily goals, you remove that overwhelm. You simplify the process. Instead of looking at a massive goal that feels impossible, you break it down into something you can handle today. This builds momentum, and momentum is what creates lasting change. Think about the most successful people in the world. They don't wake up and hope for the best. They wake up with a plan, they set their priorities, they know exactly what needs to be done, and they don't waste time on things that don't matter. This is not a coincidence. It's a strategy. And it's a strategy that anyone can use. Some people say they don't have time to set daily goals, but let's be real. If you have time to check your phone, you have time to write down 3 priorities. It takes 5 minutes. 5 minutes to decide how your day will go. 5 minutes to take control instead of leaving things to chance. The people who say they don't have time are the same ones who waste hours every day on things that don't serve them. They let distractions, excuses, and procrastination steal their potential. But when you make it a habit to set your intentions every morning, you stop wasting time and start using it wisely. A good way to do this is to focus on 3 key areas: your mind, your body, and your future. Set one goal that will make you smarter, one goal that will make you stronger, and one goal that will bring you closer to your dreams. Maybe that means reading a chapter of a book, doing a workout, and making a phone call that could open new doors. Maybe it means listening to a podcast that inspires you, eating a healthy meal, and working on a personal project. The specific goals don't matter as much as the habit of setting them. Once you build this habit, success becomes automatic. People often wait for motivation to take action, but motivation is unreliable. Some days you'll feel inspired and some days you won't. If you only take action when you feel like it, you'll never be consistent. The trick is to set your intentions regardless of how you feel. You don't wait for inspiration. You create it. And the best way to do that is to wake up every morning and decide in advance what you will accomplish that day. Excuses will always be there. The temptation to procrastinate will always be there. But once you set your goals for the day, you create accountability for yourself. You give yourself a standard to meet. And when you meet that standard day after day, you start to build confidence. You start to see results. And those results push you to keep going. Some people like to set their goals the night before so they can wake up with a clear plan. Others prefer to do it in the morning while their mind is fresh. It doesn't matter when you do it. What matters is that you do it. What matters is that you start each day with clarity, direction, and purpose. Because when you do, you stop drifting through life and you start driving toward the future you want. If you want to change your life, start by changing your mornings. Start by making the first thing you do each day a decision about how you will spend your time. Don't let the world decide for you. Don't let distractions pull you away from what matters. Decide what's important, write it down, and make it happen. Taking immediate action is the difference between people who succeed and people who stay stuck in the same place. Too many people spend their lives waiting for the right moment, the right opportunity, the right feeling. They make plans, they think about their goals, they talk about what they want to do, but when it's time to actually move, They hesitate. They overthink. They procrastinate. They make excuses, and before they know it, another day has passed, another week, another year, and they're still in the same spot, wondering why nothing has changed. The truth is, nothing changes until you do. Nothing happens until you take action. The people who win in life aren't the smartest, the most talented, or the luckiest. They're the ones who take action the fastest. They don't sit around waiting for motivation to hit them. They don't wait until they feel ready. They just move. They start. They figure things out as they go. Most people are stuck in a mindset of waiting for the perfect conditions. They think they need more time, more resources, more knowledge before they can start. They think they need to have it all figured out before they take the first step. But that's not how success works. Success comes to those who start before they're ready. It comes to those who take messy action, who jump in and learn as they go. The perfect moment doesn't exist. The stars will never align just right. There will always be reasons to wait, but the longer you wait, the harder it gets. The longer you wait, the more fear creeps in, the more doubt grows, the more comfortable you become in doing nothing. And comfort is the enemy of progress. Comfort is where dreams go to die. When you take action immediately, you train your brain to be decisive. You build momentum. And momentum is the most powerful force in achieving anything. Think about how much harder it is to push a car from a dead stop than it is to keep it moving once it's already rolling. The same applies to life. The hardest part is starting. Once you get moving, things become easier. The first step is always the most difficult, but after that, it's just about keeping the pace. People who take action don't overthink. They don't analyze every possible outcome before they start. They trust that they will figure things out along the way. They understand that mistakes and failures are part of the process. They don't let fear of failure stop them from taking the first step. Because the real failure is in not starting at all. Every great success story is built on a foundation of action. The most successful people in the world didn't get there by waiting. They didn't wait for permission. They didn't wait for everything to be perfect. They took action even when they didn't know exactly what they were doing. They learned from their mistakes. They adjusted as they went. But the key was that they started and they kept going. Some people think they need to feel motivated before they can take action. But motivation is unreliable. Motivation comes and goes. If you only take action when you feel motivated, you'll never be consistent. The most successful people understand this. They know that action creates motivation, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel like doing something. You do it, and then the motivation follows. The more you act, the more energy you create. The more energy you create, the easier it becomes to keep moving. Action is the antidote to laziness, to doubt, to fear. The problem with most people is that they overcomplicate things. They set goals, but instead of taking immediate action, they spend all their time planning, researching, preparing. Now, planning is important, but planning without action is just another form of procrastination. You don't need to know every single detail before you start. You just need to start. Some people spend months, even years, waiting for the perfect time, the perfect plan, but they never actually do anything. Meanwhile, someone else who was less prepared but more willing to take action has already passed them by. Success is not about how much you know, it's about how much you do. You can read every book, take every course, listen to every podcast, but if you never apply what you learn, it's all useless. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. The real learning comes from doing. You will learn more in one day of taking action than in months of just thinking about it. Fear is what stops most people from taking action. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. But fear only has power if you let it. The only way to overcome fear is to move through it. The more you take action despite fear, the weaker that fear becomes. Action builds confidence. Confidence doesn't come from thinking about doing something, it comes from actually doing it. The more you do, the more capable you feel. And the more capable you feel, the more action you take. A lot of people waste time waiting for permission. They wait for someone to tell them it's okay to go after their dreams. They wait for approval, validation, reassurance. But nobody is going to hand you your success. Nobody is going to give you permission to be great. You have to take it. You have to decide that you are worthy of the life you want. You have to stop waiting for the perfect time and start making things happen now. One of the biggest lies people tell themselves is that they'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow is a dangerous word because it never comes. Tomorrow turns into next week turns into next month, and before you know it, years have passed and you're still stuck in the same place. If something is important, you do it now, not later, not when it's convenient, now. Taking immediate action doesn't mean you have to accomplish everything at once. It just means you take the first step. That's all it takes to break the cycle of inaction. One small step, one decision to move forward. And once you take that step, you take another and another until eventually you've built the habit of taking action without hesitation. People often underestimate what they can achieve simply by being consistent in taking small actions every day. They think they need to make giant leaps, but real progress comes from small, daily improvements. If you improve by just 1% every day, over time, those small gains turn into massive success. Most people never reach their full potential because they never take that first step. They spend too much time in their heads, overthinking, doubting, second-guessing. But the people who achieve great things aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented. They're just the ones who start. They're the ones who take action when others hesitate. They're the ones who move when others stand still. Waiting won't get you anywhere. Hoping won't change your situation. Thinking about what you want is not the same as going after it. If you want something, you have to move toward it. You have to take action even when you don't feel ready, even when you don't have all the answers. Because action leads to progress. Progress leads to success, and success leads to a life that you actually want to live. Distractions are everywhere, and they are the silent killers of dreams. They sneak up on you, take over your time, and before you know it, the day is gone and you haven't accomplished anything meaningful. The biggest mistake people make is thinking they have time. They wake up, check their phone, scroll through social media, respond to messages, and before they even get out of bed, their mind is already occupied with things that don't move them forward. They go through the day reacting instead of acting, letting other people's priorities, notifications, and random interruptions dictate how they spend their time. They sit down to work but end up checking emails, responding to group chats, browsing the internet, watching videos, and getting lost in a cycle of distractions that add nothing to their progress. They tell themselves they will start in 5 minutes, then 10, then after lunch, and before they know it, the day is over. Most people don't realize that distractions don't just steal time, they steal focus, energy, and momentum. Every time you get distracted, your brain has to shift gears, and it takes time to get back into a productive state. Studies have shown that even a small distraction can take several minutes to recover from. That means if you let yourself check your phone every 10 minutes, you are never fully focused. You are constantly restarting, constantly losing time, and constantly falling behind. The people who succeed in life are the ones who eliminate distractions and train themselves to focus on what truly matters. They are the ones who understand that time is their most valuable asset and refuse to waste it on things that don't serve them. One of the biggest distractions in today's world is technology. Phones, social media, emails, notifications, these things are designed to steal your attention. Every app, every website, every platform is competing for your time because time equals money. The longer they keep you scrolling, the more ads they show you, the more money they make. These companies are not working for your success. They are working for your attention. And if you're not careful, you will spend your entire life giving them your time while your own dreams sit on the back burner. You have to take control. You have to be intentional about where your attention goes. That means setting boundaries, turning off notifications, and creating an environment where you can work without constant interruptions. Distractions don't just come from technology. They come from people too. Some people are distractions in human form. They don't respect your time. They bring negativity into your life. They pull you into meaningless conversations, drama, gossip, and things that do nothing to help you grow. They are the ones who always want to talk about what's wrong, who complain about everything but never take action, who find a problem for every solution. These people will drain your energy if you let them. You have to be mindful of who you spend your time with because the people around you can either push you forward or hold you back. If you surround yourself with people who are focused, motivated, and driven, you will naturally become more focused, motivated, and driven. If you spend your time with people who are distracted, lazy, and negative, you will become the same. Energy is contagious, and you have to protect yours. Another major distraction is overcommitment. Some people say yes to everything and everyone, leaving no time for their own goals. They get caught up in obligations, favors, and responsibilities that don't align with their priorities. They spend their time doing things that don't move them forward, and then they wonder why they never have time for what truly matters. Learning to say no is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. You don't owe your time to anyone. You don't have to attend every event, answer every call, or be available to everyone at all times. Your time is your own, and you have to guard it fiercely. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't serve you, you are saying no to something that does. One of the best ways to eliminate distractions is to create a daily routine. When you have a clear schedule, you don't leave room for distractions. You wake up knowing exactly what you need to do, when you need to do it, and how long you have to get it done. Successful people don't leave their day to chance. They structure their time in a way that allows them to focus on what's important while minimizing unnecessary distractions. They set specific work hours, take breaks intentionally, and create an environment that supports their productivity. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to focus. If you are surrounded by noise, clutter, and constant interruptions, you will struggle to concentrate. If your workspace is messy, your mind will be messy. Creating a distraction-free environment means setting up a space that is designed for productivity. That might mean turning off your phone, putting on noise-canceling headphones, working in a quiet place, or setting clear boundaries with the people around you. The fewer distractions you have in your environment, the easier it becomes to stay focused. One of the biggest myths about productivity is that multitasking is effective. People think they can juggle multiple things at once and still be productive, but the truth is, multitasking is a lie. The brain is not designed to focus on multiple complex tasks at the same time. Every time you switch between tasks, you lose efficiency. It takes longer to complete each task, and the quality of work decreases. The most productive people understand the power of deep focus. They work on one thing at a time, give it their full attention, and complete it before moving on to the next. They don't let their mind jump from one thing to another because they know that real progress comes from concentrated effort. Procrastination is another form of distraction. People think they are just delaying a task, but what they are really doing is allowing distractions to take over. They tell themselves they will start later, but later turns into never. They make excuses. They wait for the perfect moment, and in the meantime, they waste time on things that don't matter. The only way to beat procrastination is to take immediate action. The longer you wait, the harder it gets. When you eliminate distractions, you remove the temptation to procrastinate. You create an environment where taking action becomes the default, not an option. Another way to fight distractions is to set clear priorities. If you don't know what's important, everything will feel urgent. You will spend your day reacting instead of acting, putting out fires instead of making progress. The key is to identify the tasks that have the biggest impact and focus on them first. Not everything deserves your attention. Some things can wait, some things can be delegated, and some things don't need to be done at all. The people who achieve the most are the ones who focus on the few things that truly matter while ignoring the rest. Mental distractions are just as dangerous as external ones. Negative thoughts, self-doubt, overthinking, all of these things can pull you away from your goals just as much as social media or a ringing phone. If you constantly doubt yourself, if you let fear and worry take over your mind, you will struggle to take action. The key is to train your mind to stay focused on what you can control. You have to replace doubt with confidence, replace worry with action, and replace distractions with discipline. Distractions will always exist, but you have the power to control how much they affect you. You have to decide what is more important, temporary entertainment or a long-term success. Every time you choose to focus, every time you choose to eliminate a distraction, you are making an investment in your future. Most people let distractions steal their potential. They let little things take them off course, and before they know it, years have passed, and they are still in the same place. The people who win in life are the ones who stay locked in on their goals, no matter what is happening around them. They are the ones who cut out the noise, eliminate distractions, and give their full attention to what truly matters.